I was speechless, I think, for the first time in my life.
The U.S. Supreme Court on Monday ruled in favor of a former public high school football coach who sued after being suspended for refusing to stop leading prayers with players on the field after games. In a 6-3 decision, the justices sided with Joseph Kennedy, who served as a part-time assistant football coach in the city of Bremerton in Washington state until 2015. The court's conservative justices were in the majority and its liberal members in dissent. Kennedy spoke to Reuters after the ruling.
I know that it sounds really probably cliche, but the Constitution applies to everybody equally. It's not for the Christians or the Jews or the atheists or whoever. It is for all Americans. And that's why I thought this was such a huge win, that it's more of a freedom of speech thing to me personally, because it was just a moment between me and God. It had nothing to do with anybody else.
The ruling, authored by Justice Neil Gorsuch, rejected the local school district's concerns that in a public school setting, Kennedy's prayers and Christian-infused speeches could be seen as coercive to students, or a governmental endorsement of a particular religion in violation of the First Amendment's so-called Establishment Clause. Gorsuch wrote, quote, "Respect for religious expressions is indispensable to life in a free and diverse republic, whether those expressions take place in a sanctuary or on a field, and whether they manifest through the spoken word or a bowed head." The Supreme Court held that Kennedy's actions were protected by his own rights under the First Amendment, which protects free speech and religious expression. Rachel Laser, president of Americans United for Separation of Church and State, which represented the school district, disagrees.
Today, the conservative bloc on the Supreme Court triggered the greatest loss of religious freedom in a generation. Religious freedom is not the right to use your power as an agent of the state and a public school coach to impose your beliefs on students.
Powered by its conservative majority, the Supreme Court in recent years has expanded individual and corporate religious rights while narrowing the separation between church and state. Last year, the San Francisco-based Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled against Kennedy, finding that local officials would have violated the First Amendment's ban on government establishment of religion if they let his actions continue.